Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode in our Rise of the Moors series. So not too much football since the last episode, only the 4 games, a win, a loss and a draw in the league, but importantly, a victory in the FA Trophy and progression into the 4th round. So let's quickly have a look at the highlights of those games now and then we'll crack on with the episode. So not fantastic form for us really since the last episode, and we started that sequence of fixtures with a disappointing draw away at Boreham Wood. It was quite a tight affair, and realistically it was poor defensive errors that led to both of the Boreham Wood goals. So Tancock's error led to their opening goal, which was cancelled out by a superb Rowan Liebert effort, and that actually became runner-up in the January goal of the month. Zvetan Filipov then put us 2-1 in front with his own long-range effort from outside the box, but we couldn't hold on for the win, and another defensive error led to the equaliser in the 82nd minute. And following that disappointing draw, we travelled to FC Halifax, and we really just didn't turn up for this fixture. We weren't at it at all in this game, and Eddie Desan again causing our defence some real trouble. It was a really poor outing for the Moors here, and we just weren't creative enough. But we bounced back from those 2 disappointing games with a really good win away at Margate. Yes, we allowed a lot of shots on our goal, 8 of which on target, but Margate only put the 1 away. But we were so clinical in this fixture, 4 shots on target and we converted 3 of them. and it was goals for Nico, John Paul Pittman and Filipov in this game. Ben Glasgow picking up player of the match with yet again another fantastic outing from him. And in our final off-camera game, we had the FA Trophy third round where we hosted Wrexham, and Wrexham have been really good in the league in the last couple of months, and I was expecting a very, very difficult game here, but surprisingly it turned out to be a very comfortable fixture. We absolutely dominated the first 30 minutes in this game, scoring 2 goals, one from Rowan Liebert and one from Filipov. They came in the opening 12 minutes to put us 2-0 up. And actually, we missed a lot of other chances in this game to really extend the lead, and it was Filipov who picked up player of the match in this fixture. So I'm hoping those back-to-back victories are going to give us a little bit of momentum again going into the final phase of the season really, as well as going into the game versus Grimsby, which we're going to be showing in this episode. And just to bring you up to speed on another couple of bits of news since the last episode, we have the end of the transfer window in January. Not too much activity for us though, but we did sell Matthew Fletcher, our left winger. He actually went to Cheltenham in League 2 for about 8k. He was a really good player for us actually, but this season he wasn't much more than a backup, although he did contribute a couple of decent and very useful goals when we'd lost both Rowan Liebert and John Paul Pittman to injury in the early few weeks of the season. But realistically, I think we'd already outgrown his potential, and we've also loaned out Anthony Barry. Now Barry was desperate for first team football, and I just really couldn't accommodate him, especially with the resurgent form of Filipov and Andy Thano in the last couple of months. So I had no problem sending him out on loan, just to keep him happy really. And obviously, the moment I do that, we picked up the injury to Andy Thano in the outing versus Wrexham, so he's actually going to be out for 2 months. I think we've got enough cover really, because we've got Charlie Cooper and Jack Haddon and Filipov who have been fantastic for us, and we've also got Jack Byrne who can come in and do a job for us even though we haven't utilised him as much as we really should have. And obviously a couple of players who haven't made a single appearance for us this season, Callum Gittings and Adam Walker. I did try and move them on in the transfer window, basically just get them off the wage bill, but no club really had much interest in either of those players, so it looks like they're going to be staying with us until the end of the season when their contracts expire. So while we're having a look at the squad then, let's have a quick look at some of the statistics then. So Ben Glasgow and Filipov have been in really good form for us in the last few months, and as you can see there, they're leading the way in the average rating, so 7.75 for Glasgow, 7.55 for Filipov, and then a cluster of players not too far behind. As far as our goal scorers go, Rowan Liebert with 17 now, 16 of which are in the league. Kieran Bywater on 14, 10 of those have come in the league. And then Nico Hamalainen and John Paul Pittman on 12 goals, John Paul Pittman scoring 8 in the league. Assists coming from our 2 standout players, Ben Glasgow on the right flank. He's got 11 assists so far for us this season, and then Filipov on 8, and a cluster of players including Hamalainen, Bywater and John Paul Pittman around 5 or 6. Pass completion rate, our standout performer in that aspect really is Jack Haddon. He's on 87%, which is really fantastic. And then a couple of other players around the 80s, including Filipov and John Paul Pittman again. So just having a look where our players rank against everybody else in the league, as you can see, Ben Glasgow and Zvetan Filipov are the standout performers for the entire league, which is really pleasing. Luke Simpson now has got the most clean sheets, and as you can see there, Rowan Liebert, who's got 16 goals, he's about 5 behind the leaders. And a quick look then at the team statistics, we're about 7 goals behind the leaders easily. As you can see there though, our philosophy has continued to pay dividends when it comes to possession and pass completion rate. We've dropped down the form table a little bit based on mainly our away form. Our home form has been pretty decent, and there's teams like Eastleigh, Crawley, Halifax and Braintree who are leading the way in the overall form, and that has caused the league table to look a little bit like this. So we're 15 points clear of a cluster of teams all on 62 points. So today we've also got the draw for the 4th round of the FA Trophy. There's some big teams still left in the competition, but I'm hoping our cup draw luck can continue really, just so we can advance further in this competition. So there's a couple of teams in there that I wouldn't mind playing. Lincoln and Stalybridge really, probably the teams that I wouldn't mind picking up. I think a trip away to Forest Green is the tie that we really want to avoid. Let's see what we get. So Hampton and Richmond, they're going to be hosting Eastleigh. Braintree at home to Forest Green, so we've avoided Forest Green, which is good. Tranmere and Aldershot are going to be hosting Lincoln, so we've picked up Stalybridge at home as well. They're from the Vanarama National North. We haven't played them since last season, and it's a game I expect to win, really. So we're looking good to progress even further in the FA Trophy. The Braintree Forest Green game is going to be difficult, I think. That's probably the tie of the round. So at home to Grimsby today, we picked up a very good win away at Grimsby earlier in the season, and I'm hoping to pick up another victory here. Now obviously Grimsby are pushing for a playoff spot and they're a very dangerous team. So this is the team we're going to be starting with today. Rowan Liebert up top, usual wingers of Nico Hamalainen and Kieran Bywater. We're going to utilise a defensive midfielder in this game to try and nullify a little bit of the threat from Grimsby. So it's Filipov and Charlie Cooper in the middle. Jack Haddon is coming in as DM, and then the usual back four now: Chesmain, Joe Worrell the Loney, Scott Tancock and Ben Glasgow, and ever-present Luke Simpson in goal. This is going to be a really difficult fixture for us, and I'm expecting quite a tight affair, to be honest. Grimsby need to maintain pace with a lot of the other teams in those playoff spots, and like we've been saying for a few months now, it's going to be very competitive to get out of this division. So Grimsby, they've set up 4-4-2, which is actually probably the formation we struggle more against. And because of that, we're going to be closing down their wide men and keeping tight to their front two. And we're going to tell them to pick up where they left off and then give them the encouragement and faith I think we need. We're going to be starting on the standard mentality, but the usual tactical setup, really. So the Moors to get us underway here. At home to Grimsby, so it's going to be a difficult game. Rowan Liebert's on it. Oh, it's the end of the highlight already. So, cagey first few minutes, it looks like. No real chances for either team. 15 or so minutes already gone. Very quiet game so far. It's all been played out in the middle of the park, so I'm hoping for some highlights to show you soon. Half an hour already. No shots on target for either team. Goal kick to Grimsby now. Worrell rises highest to win that. Ben Glasgow gets up again. Here's Filipov now. He brings the ball down. Takes one man on. He's beaten him and he's powering forward now. Spreads it out wide to Bywater, but that was a poor ball really. And he couldn't get that one into control. And Grimsby are going to look to play it out. De Silva Lopez, he loses the ball and Bywater's got a bit of space now. Charlie Cooper into Filipov. He beats that man again and plays it into Rowan Liebert's feet. He looks to some support from Chesmain. Filipov again, he's beaten the man. Liebert plays it out wide. Can we get a good cross in? Hamalainen at the edge. He finds Bywater, brings it down 1-0. Kieran Bywater, 15th goal of the season. What a player he has been for us so far. Nico Hamalainen, he picks him out. Good control from Bywater, gets it out from his feet and smashes it into the back of the net. 1-0 to the Moors. That should get us to half time, I think. So quite a quiet affair really, not too many chances for either team. Again, we'll give them a bit of faith. Liebert's having a quiet game, but he was involved in the build-up to that goal, so that's pretty decent from him. So Grimsby to start the second half then. I'm expecting a response from them. So 60 odd percent possession for us, 84% pass completion, which is really good. About 30 minutes to go now. They've made a couple of changes. I think we're going to respond as well. Liebert's having a quiet game. I'm going to give John Paul Pittman some more game time. I think that's the only change we're going to make at this stage. I'm going to drop ever so slightly deeper, I think, just for the final 30 minutes. Make it a little bit more congested for Grimsby to work forward. So Pittman's entered the fold. A few chances for Grimsby, 3 shots on target for us. No real clear-cut opportunities though. I'm going to make another change now, 15 minutes to go. It's a very quiet game. I'm going to bring Odiambo on, I think. Hamalainen, although he's got the assist, he hasn't really contributed much else. So we're going to bring Odiambo on for Hamalainen, which means we have to swap out our wide men again. Bywater on the inside forward role. I'm going to drop Glasgow back to more of a support duty now. and Chesmain on to defend. Our midfield three have been really good again. Filipov has been fantastic, but I'm going to bring on some fresh legs, and Jack Burns coming on. He's going to be coming off Charlie Cooper, and I'll drop him down to a defensive duty. So it's a close game, only one goal in it. I'm hoping we can keep Grimsby at bay for the last few moments, and hopefully those fresh legs will help that. And give them a little encouragement as well, get them to concentrate for the last few moments. About 15 minutes to go now. Not many highlights to show you, unfortunately. And that should be this. This should be the last highlight of the game. And Simpson gathers the loose ball, and that should be that. I'm not expecting anything else now. That's full time. So 1-0 to the Moors. Yes, a quiet game, but actually, although we were favourites there, I know Grimsby are a tough team. So Zvetan Filipov picks up man of the match again. He had a 9 rating. Bywater with the goal, and Nico Hammerlane getting the assist for that one. So not a brilliant performance by the Moors, but it was a good solid win actually, and they're the teams that we need to keep picking up points from, especially to keep that buffer at the top of the table. So we've maintained our 15-point gap at the top. That's over Bristol Rovers and Crawley now. So we've got a really difficult month ahead of us actually. 11 games to go in the Vanarama National League. But it looks like we've got a really good opportunity to progress further in the FA Trophy. And if we do beat Stalybridge, which is going to be at the end of this month, then I think the FA Trophy semi-final, which is played over 2 legs, is going to be on a couple of Saturdays in mid-March. So my intention was to show in the next episode the home game versus Tranmere, and that's going to be at the end of March. But I think what I'll have to do is just see if we can progress past Stalybridge. We'll just have to see if any of those fixtures get rearranged. So as well as progression in the FA Trophy, we've got a few difficult games coming up. Dover, Bristol Rovers and Tranmere all back to back at this stage. Obviously those fixtures may get rearranged like I've said. So if we can pick up some victories against some of those teams like we've done in the Grimsby game today, then I think we're going to be fine for the championship, for the title. And obviously playing those teams, we've still got a lot of opportunity to make a big impact in their playoff aspirations. So not too much football to go, and I'm getting very excited about the off season and planning for Football League, and we'll touch more on that in the coming episodes. So thanks for watching again guys. Do leave a like on the video if you're enjoying the series so far, and subscribe for more Rise of the Moors, and I'll see you in the next episode when we'll have a fixture at the end of March, which may well be an FA Trophy game. But until then, cheers.